This is MBS Central, MBS Uncensored. We're actually live right now, man. This ain't even a pre-recorded show, so this is the Super Bowl 53 recap, man. So we're gonna talk about it. Obviously, I'm Keo. I got True X, the sports junkie, with me. What's going on?
Man, what's good, man? That was fire. That was fire. We gonna talk about it.
And then, we got Reek in the building with us. Also, what's good?
What's good, y'all? Shout out to my boy Kill. Shout out to my boy X. Shout out to MBS as a whole. You already know that Super Bowl was everything. Classic. Let's get it, man.
Hey, before you go, Q,
Well, the
ironically,
Super
I just want to say this: the two people that picked the Chiefs on the show. Hey, I give you credit, Q. You showed up and you picked the Niners, so shout out to you.
Nah, I got no shame about it, man. But yeah, the Super Bowl 53 recap. Chiefs win it in overtime in a very classic traditional fashion. You can't you can't script this time expiring in overtime and then boom, Mahomes leads them with the game-winning touchdown, man. So with that being said, what's your guys' thoughts on this year's Super Bowl that we just had?
You want me to jump? You
Go
want me
ahead,
to
you
jump?
got it.
I mean, look, I thought, like as I said in the intro, man, it's an instant classic. You know what I mean? Defense. Shout out to defense in 2024. That was a defensive game with guys making plays at times when they need to make plays on both sides of the ball. I mean, on both teams. Like, what more could you ask for? Like, I hate that 50, 40, 30 scores. Like, this was great football right here. We had Patrick Mahomes making plays. We had Purdy making plays. We had CMC making plays. Kelsey, second half, crazy second half. Jennings, crazy game. Shout out to Jennings. Like, we just had a great game, man. Like, I'm as a non-fan of either team, I'm hyped. I feel like the Nuggets won again watching this. Like, I was just hyped about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a great game. Like, I'm gonna get more detail more after everybody give how they felt about the Super Bowl, but that game was everything, man.
Hey, man, first and foremost, man, shout out to Travis Kelsey. Shout out to Taylor Swift, the Swifties. What up? What up? Hey, man. But like Reek said, man, fire Super Bowl. If you tuned in to last week's show, the NBA show, I said it's a 50-50 game. When it comes down to it, we're going to talk about it in a few. But I had to roll with Mahomes and Andy Reid, and I felt like they showed why in this game. But we'll dive into that, but definitely a classic. Maybe one of the best Super Bowls since I've been alive, man. For real, for real. That's no understatement because literally it was like watching a great fight or a great battle rap or a battle or anything that's going nip and tuck. It was like literally who's going to win? Who's going to let up? Who's going to let up? And in the end, man, Mahomes, man, that boy is something different, man.
Well, man, I've been raving about Brock Purdy throughout the year. I probably defend him more than anybody out there, and I can't I can't say anything that he didn't do in this game. You know, there was a couple of things where some throws that I felt like he could have made, and I thought he could have been more aggressive. But Patrick Mahomes, man, at the end of the day, he got the job done. No matter how you want to spin it, he's you know his legacy is cemented, man. You can't dial that up, man. Mahomes had to answer every single time. The Niners had him in the first half. He looked rattled. They didn't look like they couldn't move the ball at all. Outside of that deep shot that he hit, I think he hit MVS with that deep shot that they end up
McCall
turning
Hartman
out.
in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah, Hardman to that deep shot. That was the only positive thing that was going good for them. And then they turned the ball over. But in the second half, they definitely picked things up. and it was a really good game, man. It was a really great game. Um, the classic game, one of my one of the best Super Bowls that I've seen in a while. Going into overtime, and then the
Your
Niners,
microphone
uh,
muffled, Key.
my muffled. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, going into overtime, the Niners scoring first. I was really confident that the Niners was gonna score in that touchdown, and I think that penalty kind of hurt them. Um, and you got to give credit to Kansas City defense. They dialed a good game plan in the second half. Shout out to Steve Spagnuolo and that defense and that secondary, man. That's why I favored that. Uh, that's why that secondary was heavily favored because um, that the secondary is so deep. What this guy's produced was Trent McDuffie. He don't get talked about enough.
Yep.
We know about with the other cornerback that they have over there. I think he's their best cornerback, and it was that defense and Patrick Mahomes, man. But it was a really good game. I do feel bad about the 49er fans. I feel bad for my family. They were rooting. They were all nervous. They were so scared. But at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes strikes again.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, I got a question for y'all, fellas. Like, I just sat and thought while Kill was talking. The biggest play of the game might have been a non-play. Was the biggest play when Greenlaw got hurt? Because I feel like
Oh
Kelsey
yeah.
wasn't doing nothing until Greenlaw was out the game. I mean, Fred Warner's there, but they're both there. Like Kelsey was getting off on that backup real like pretty. I mean, it wasn't all man coverage, but he wasn't getting to his zone coverage quick enough like Greenlaw would, I guess, more so than not. Like
But he, but
Kelsey,
but even when they were man up, he was getting the best of Fred Warner too, though.
yeah. But
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Fred kind of like I
Yeah,
mean,
I
trying to
feel
try to
you.
help a little more because got to put someone he trusts right next to him now. You know what I mean? We don't know, but I know when Greenlaw was there, Kelsey was enough. He had one catch for 1 yard.
That's a fact. I'll say something different. The block extra point is the biggest play of the game because I think
Yeah.
that one really didn't force Kansas City to have to come down
Yeah,
and do anything different than what they were doing. I mean, they're
yeah,
taking the three. Harrison Butker kept making them. So I think that was the one that
yeah,
really hurt the Niners. The Niners was
yeah.
losing, and that's the one we were talking about off air. The Niners were losing 13-10, I believe, at the time, or it was 16, something like that. But at the end of the day,
Yeah,
Purdy drove them down and got him a touchdown. Like I had to salute that. I'm like, this is the moment
yeah,
I've been saying, okay, it's time for you. At the end of the day, McCaffrey fumbled. Now I'm not saying McCaffrey played bad. He just fumbled. He had a fumble in the game. But there was penalties, like you said, versus against Trent Williams and other guys on the offensive line. But Purdy kept making plays. The 4th and 3, he made that play. And then to drive him down to go get that lead, I think that extra point, man, that might have cost them in this
huge,
game.
huge.
Yeah. And I had a conversation with X about this also. I said that I think Purdy could still play good and they could actually still lose the game. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think that punt was crucial also
That
that
was a
that
big play.
That was a
that turned the game around.
big play. That was a huge
Yep.
play.
All
What
three
they
things, all three of those things, Greenlaw, the block extra point, and the muff fumble, all big plays.
another one too. Another one in overtime when Kittle was hurt and the backup tight end had that penalty. That would
Yep.
have been Kittle right there. That because they was driving, they was moving that ball. It was 2nd and 2. That holding made it 2nd and 12, and they had got the first down on that play too. But that holding brought it back and made it 2nd and 12.
And I'll end it with this one before you go to the next topic, Kill. When Patrick Mahomes came out at halftime and Patrick Mahomes threw an interception, the Niners have to capitalize on that.
Yes.
They have to capitalize. And that's the one possession I'm sitting there saying, Purdy, man, this is your chance to really take a hold of this Super Bowl.
Cal. I want Cal on that one. They didn't run the ball not one time on
And
that
that is
play.
a fact. That's a fact.
Run that ball. Where we at? Where
Shout
we
out
at,
to
Kia?
everybody in the chat. 004 Straka. Shout out to the people in the chat right now. Shout out to Achilles.
Facts.
That's been in the chat right now. Um, yeah, man. This was I can't say anything bad about this game. I think the game started really slow though.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be a low scoring game by the way things were going and the way they moved the ball. I and obviously the game started picking up in the second half. They made Christian McCaffrey earn every single yard, man.
for sure.
They were ready for Christian McCaffrey in this game, and that run defense was one of the my biggest concerns because I always thought the Chiefs' run defense was very weak and vulnerable, and they definitely showed up. Obviously, the pass defense showed up also. The Niners defense they played really well also. They you look at the past two playoff games that the Niners has had, the offense would have their way with that Niners defense, but this Niners
Facts.
defense they actually showed up. Steve Wilkes showed up, but it was it was Patrick Mahomes at the end of the day, man. And he there's a reason why people put him in that Brady conversation right now, and why he's the best quarterback in the league right now.
You
For
know,
sure.
kid. I want to point this out to you. I want to go back a couple of rounds prior, and that's what I was trying to tell you about Josh Allen. When Josh Allen lost to Patrick Mahomes, you said Josh Allen missed some throws, and I was like, well, he got him in field goal range, and I think we were both right because when you play Patrick Mahomes, you can't go down into a field goal. You better go out there and punch it, because if not, you leaving it up to Superman to come down and do some damage. So I
Yeah.
look back at that. I said to myself, you know, Josh Allen missed some throws despite him playing well in that game. Lamar Jackson missed some throws, and it cost everybody in every round, and including Brock Purdy. Even though I think he played good, you gotta punch it in when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And
Yeah,
something that Keo said too, he said that like how they made Christian McCaffrey work for everything. That just speaks to the greatness of that kid because he's right. Keo's right. He had to work for it. That kid still finished with 80 yards rushing and I think over 60 yards receiving.
80
And it,
receiving,
80 receiving and 80 rushing. And he had to work for that. Like that wasn't
30
easy.
touches.
Like Keo said, it wasn't easy. Like I'm not disagreeing with Keo at all. He worked for it, but that shows how great that kid is. Like seriously, like 80 and 80, and he had to like it wasn't easy. Like I didn't see no 20-yard runs and nothing like that. Like he had to really dig down and like take them hits. Like that was out, man. What a game, bro.
And,
What a
and,
game.
I, and I, one more thing I just want to say. We said a lot of names, and I just got to say this. I know you only have 4 tackles, but Chris Jones, my God. if you, my
Hey,
God.
what did I say? What did I say? Who would be the best defender? I mean, Chase was hot, but I ain't see him in the second half. I ain't see Chase in the second half. He
No,
was tough in the
Chase
first
wasn't,
half.
but I think Bosa played well too. But I think
He
Chris
did.
Jones outplayed him by a
Yeah,
slim margin.
yeah. I said Chris Jones the best of them, but Chase was amazing that first half though.
Yes.
so Mahomes he went what 34 for 46 for 333. He had 2 touchdowns. He had a costly interception in the second half. But the stat that I look at is that 66 yards rushing that
He
he
led
had,
him,
man.
he led him in rushing.
Tied,
Rushing.
tied.
Those rushing yards. That was a key factor into
Yeah,
why the Chiefs won this game. Because he made some big plays, man, in the rushing game, man. I think he had a 22-yard run, which got them into good field position, and they end up scoring. So that rushing definitely helped them because they Pacheco was getting the ball though. I think he got the ball around like 18 times, but the Niners defense was ready for that, and Mahomes those rushing yards definitely helped them out in this game. Purdy
Sure.
tried to rush the ball, but they were ready. That Chiefs defense was ready for that.
Why
Um,
you had to laugh at it?
um, I thought he was going to make some good rushing plays for Purdy, but the Chiefs defense was definitely ready for that. I kind of felt like they could have went to Kittle more because Kittle he was barely getting targeted in the game. Um, Ayuk was kind of on and off. Debo he got banged up. I think in the second half. The second half, he did come back. Yeah, and they started actually getting him involved more in the second half. I thought they could have done that in the first half, but it was just too many field goals for the Niners, man.
Yep.
When they kicked that field goal in overtime, I was like, man, that ain't gonna do it. They better stop them. And
Hey, but
obviously,
let's.
they weren't able to.
Oh, my bad, Keith. Shout out to Moody though, man. That's a rookie kicker with a 53-yard and a 55-yard field goal in the Super Bowl. That's huge, man. I mean, the extra point was blocked. Was it low? Was the kick low to you?
I
Uh,
mean, you won't know because he got blocked right in a lot of scrimmage, but
Right.
I mean, that's some big boys there for Kansas City, man. Chris
Yeah.
Jones ain't small. Pinnell's
Right.
not small. That's some big boys they got over there for Kansas City, bro.
And I made a mistake about another defensive lineman. I thought that was the best outside of Chris Jones. I think he was better than Bosa too. Somebody help me with the name for the Niners. He was in the middle.
Oh, Armstead.
Armstead was
Armstead
mean.
played well.
Armstead, he might have been the best, if not Chris Jones. Armstead was on. I mean, he was in a lot of action today. A
That's
lot
a
of
fact.
action.
That's a fact. Hey, man, shout out to both kickers, though. I'm glad you said that. Moody
Yeah.
showed up. Harrison Butker broke his record after he didn't set the
Right.
record.
That's crazy.
Incredible.
Same game. Who could like that's crazy.
Because we're so used to seeing kickers crack in these games. We're
Right.
so used to seeing kickers wide left, wide right, come up short, get it. It's just, man, these kickers showed out today. Even though Moody got one blocked, I mean, he played well regardless.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like
Well,
this is a tough recap because an exciting recap will be blaming somebody and who didn't do what. And there's nobody to blame. Like it's really to me, I have nothing bad to say about the Niners. Like we can say a little bit of nitpick on what everyone could have did, but we don't have no like, oh my God, Purdy is who we thought he was. We don't have none of that. Oh, Shanahan did it again. We don't have none of that.
Now, I want to go on air and say it right now. Brock Purdy, I don't want to say I'm sorry, but I do want to say you have proven to me that you are definitely a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. For sure. And the reason why I'll say it is because when the chips were down, he led his team in position. Now, granted, they didn't win, but he put them in a position to win. And that's what I was trying to tell you about Josh Allen, Keo. All I can ask is for you to put your team in position. This is no shot at your team. But Dak, the reason why people criticize him so much is because when the chips are down, he doesn't put his team in position to win. And Tua did the same thing this postseason. I don't know what the hell that performance was. There's certain guys that don't put themselves in position to win. And today, Purdy did everything him and Shanahan had to do to put themselves in position to win. Unfortunately, they were just playing Michael Jordan of the NFL right now.
yeah, man. I don't think Purdy should feel bad about
yeah.
how this game happened because you're going against one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and I think they should be proud. The Niners should be proud of what they have. Um, but my next question for you guys is, where would you guys rate this Super Bowl? After watching this
Damn. I gotta think
close
that one.
I'll
game
go
down
first.
to the wire, go
I'll get
ahead.
so I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but I'm
You
gonna
are.
say top 5 regardless for me.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why is because oftentimes Super Bowls don't live up to the hype. This was truly, in my mind, I said on the show, a 50-50 Super Bowl, and most of it had it as a very close in margin Super Bowl. We thought it was a 1 point, maybe 2 point, maybe 3 point game, but nobody thought it was going to be this blowout. maybe Reek, what you had? What was this score? Like a 4-point game?
Who mine?
Yeah, for before.
I think I said 31-24. I think I had a 7.
So
7.
okay, so 7. But you had a 1-possession game.
Right,
You didn't have
yeah.
no blowout. I had a 1-point game. I said it was a 50-50 pick 'em. I thought the Niners had the better team, but I said at the end of the day, chips are down. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, they're just going to be proved that they're just too much. And I think that's what ended up happening. But I'll say top 5 because off the top of my head, you got New England versus Seattle, which was a really good one. I still don't know what the hell Seattle was doing on the last.
You can't do top 5. Oh, Dex, I got something for you. Let me throw something at you. Top 5 is tough. What you just said, New England versus Seattle, right?
That's fire.
That's tough. That's tough. We got Giants versus Patriots both times. Both times.
Oh man, I like one of them better than the other one.
Yeah,
I like
but
the undefeated one. More.
They both came to the end though. Literally,
they did. The
Then
Mario Manningham one, that one was okay. That was cool.
We got a lot. We got Pittsburgh, Arizona, Plexico Bears with the catch.
That was fire.
We got a lot, bro. It's hard to say top 5, bro. It's a lot of games. We got Denver Broncos versus was it Green Bay when Elway helicoptered in for the touchdown?
Hey, the Terrell Davis pitch score, bring it back, do it again. That was
I'm gonna say top 10. I'm gonna say top 10. It's a lot of games, man.
I think this is top
10.
I just put you 7.
I think this is top 5 though, man. This is definitely top 5 because it's the storyline of, Brock Purdy being undrafted, and then you got Patrick Mahomes, the guy that, are you putting him in that conversation. Obviously, you add, I know people don't like it. You add that Taylor Swift mix in it also, and then going into the game, it was the first half was kind of slow. The second half kind of picked it up. Mahomes took the lead. Purdy came back, responded back, and then you go into over. Towards the end of regulation, the Chiefs could have won the game and scored that touchdown. Then they end up kicking the field goal. Then you go to overtime. The Niners responded with a field goal. It's Patrick Mahomes' turn. Time is expiring. Like I thought we were about to go to second overtime, and then next boom, to close out the game with a touchdown in overtime. Man, I think that's top 5 for me, man. It was
Patriots against the greatest show on turf. Tom Brady's first Super Bowl.
Nah, I remember that one like it was yesterday. I don't think that was the best, even though it was a good one. It wasn't the best. It was good. It was good. I just think that the greatest show on turf didn't show up in that game. I mean, you give the credit to the Patriots defense if you want to, for sure. But that wasn't enough for me. But what I like about this one, we always talk about battle rap. I know we coming in, we talk battle rap. What I love about this one, because this one was nip and tuck. It was haymaker one way, haymaker the other way. You didn't know. At certain points, I'm sitting there like, Niners gonna win this game. And then I'm like, the Chiefs gonna win this game. So it was like nipping it. It was like a heavyweight fight. It felt like Hollow versus Lux. It felt like
Surf versus Geechee.
Surf versus Geechee.
I got you.
It felt like Rough Nitty and Ab. It was fire. Like it lived up. And I can't say it's the greatest because I think that I would still lean towards, for me, this is just my personal, it would lead more towards Seattle versus New England, but it's right there.
See, the only why I have a top 10. Only why I don't have a top 5 is because I thought the first half was a sleeper. Well, the other games I said, I felt like it was a full game of competitiveness. I felt like that the whole game. I feel like people that just was watching felt like it might be a blowout for the Niners to start the game. Not Chiefs fans, but and I feel like the second half turned up, and they got real good.
And one more point to your credit, like I will say this: the Niners go up 10-0 with like 4 minutes left in the first half. That was a big drive by the Chiefs to get that in field goal range and kick a field goal. Like that was big for the Chiefs. They needed that going into the halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You mentioned the Seattle game. We always question that call by Pete Carroll. Like you can't question anything about what happened. Sure, Purdy could have made better throws. They could should have scored a touchdown, but you can't blame anybody. Like most Super Bowls, you blame somebody and it's
Yeah.
somebody's fault.
Well, here's why I
With
say that. Because the Legion of Boom is legendary. And Tom Brady's the GOAT. And in that fourth quarter, Tom Brady picked the Legion of Boom apart. Now, granted, the Seahawks came down, they were about to score, but it was just masterful to see the GOAT versus arguably one of the greatest secondaries ever assembled. And that Super Bowl for me is always going to be one of those ones because you have so much history on both sides as far as when you're going to think about it down the road.
all right, man.
I
Last
got
question for you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got one more too. Eagles Patriots. Nick Foles. What?
Let me tell you, for me,
What?
and I know this is going to be like a downer for everybody, but that one was fire. But you know, like the fire games that you like, it was fire, but that's that one for me.
Okay. Last question, man. Will both of these teams return to the Super Bowl next year?
Ooh, man. Go ahead, Reek. You got that?
Listen, I ain't betting. I'm not betting against Mahomes, man. This team wasn't even a great team this year. Like, you know what I'm saying. So I would say yes for the Chiefs. I mean, I'm trying to think when in the AFC. I mean, the Ravens, but I don't know. They got to show me. I mean, maybe Burrow come back strong with the Bengals, but they probably losing T Higgins this year. So in the free agency, so I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and rock out with Mahomes the 3-peat if I have to. But on the NFC side, I see Green Bay up and coming. I see Detroit up and coming. Both teams should have beat the Niners realistically in the playoffs. Cowboys always gonna be there to fight. You know, can't count them out. Am I missing anybody from the NFC? Am I missing anybody in the
I can
NFC?
take that next leap. The Rams was good this year. I mean,
Yeah,
they have some things that they need to add, but
yeah. I don't really. I think Detroit, Green Bay, and the Cowboys. We'll see what the Eagles do to fix what they got going because they still a good solid roster for sure. So I think it's gonna be tough for the Niners to get back. To me, like I said, the Niners. Purdy is a very, very good player. I don't think he's great. He's a very, very good player, but I think he needs to have his team around him. I don't think he can do nothing with that Chiefs roster that they have. And if the more the Niners lose players or get older, I think the Niners are going to have to start putting more players, like drafting well, like kind of like the Eagles did to kind of replace some of their older guys. You know what I'm saying? In time, because if he don't have those players, he can't go out there with just a Travis Kelce and Rice this year and do what Mahomes did. Obviously, Mahomes is above everybody. So I'm gonna say yeah for the Chiefs, and I'm gonna say Niners. They can, but would I bet on it? No, I wouldn't bet on it. No.
I'm 1,000% with Reek on this. 1,000%. Dude, McDuffie's still coming back. He's a young corner that played very well. Needs a monster on the corner. Chris Jones just was on the TV saying he told their owner, look, we need to bring him back for this 3-peat. Dog, they're young. They're getting better every time they step on the field. They're champions already back to back. Mahomes is there. Rice is going to be better next year. Yeah, Travis Kelce's getting up there. But, dog, they can add to that roster. They can go outside of the wide receiver. They're scary. They're scary.
Don't let them get T. Higgins. Oh, my God.
Right? They could do that. Pacheco is going to his third year. That boy runs the ball so hard. Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna say the Chiefs can definitely get back. The Niners, I don't know, man. I see what Reek's saying. Trent Williams is getting up there in age. He is. You're gonna lose. You're probably gonna lose him. He ain't gonna be the same player. You saw it in the Super Bowl when Mike Pittle, right? He literally just threw Trent Williams to the ground and got the what's his name? Christian McCaffrey like it was nothing. I'm just saying Trent Williams is definitely a Hall of Fame. We're not debating that, but he is getting up there in age. How much more can Christian McCaffrey take on? year in, year out, because he gets a lot of it. He touched the ball 30 times in this game. 30. And you got a $160 and a touchdown. But dog, you gotta rely on that again next year through that whole season. Debo was banged up. Kittle was banged up. Is how you gonna take that next step? Can Purdy take that next step? I'm with Reek. I think that the Lions are a team that's coming. The Packers are coming. The Cowboys have all the pieces. They just have to take that next step, kind of like Buffalo. They got to take that next step, kind of like the Ravens. But no, I'm going to say the 49ers don't get back to the Super Bowl next year.
And don't forget Chase Young. They ain't got the money to sign him back.
Right? That's another thing.
I'm going to say the Chiefs in the AFC, man. And I've said this all year, beginning of the football season. I can't not bet against Patrick Mahomes. I said that until somebody knocks off the Kansas City Chiefs, I am not picking against them, man. I don't know who the hell. Actually, I know who did, but I know a couple of people actually picked the Chargers to win the division earlier this season. but you guys have taken that next step. I think Buffalo, they got to take some type of step to get to the Chiefs. And that's including, the Baltimore Ravens. Also, we know Joe Burrow's coming back. Hold up, man. Wait, we're not going to disrespect Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets over there.
Hey, I forgot about that one. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at.
Yeah, I think that team is the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs. I would like to see that, man. I would like to see that.
I'm not mad at.
Now, as far as the NFC, I think this thing is so wide open, man. It's basically a pick 'em, man. It's like you know how in battle rap you go who should battle loaded left. People say it's Danny. People say it's D&A. People say it's JC. Daylight. It's just a pick 'em when it comes to who's going to come out the NFC, because there's a lot of teams out there, man, that could be that team. The Niners. You mentioned Green Bay. Detroit. They've been making noise. The Cowboys are always going to be there. If Philadelphia can't get it together, maybe they could do something also. So it's who's going to be that team though, man. But I think the Niners are my leaders right now though, man, because they basically own my Dallas Cowboys. They've gotten, and they've beaten every team that made it to the playoffs this season in the NFC. So and then a lot of people have been asking, let's see what Brock Purdy could do in his third season. So there's a lot of questions going on with that also. But I would say, the Niners are my front runners right now, just based on what I've seen this season.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
It takes a very strong mental to get over this hump. They lost 2 to Patrick Mahomes now.
Yeah.
To mentally prepare yourself to get back to that same moment, you got to be different, man. You got to be different.
I think this one hurts more though, because they had it. They just had it right in their hands. They had it. It was right in the grasp of their hands, and they just let it go.
Can I just say this one thing too, man? I know Patrick Mahomes just won the Super Bowl, but I actually would say, bro, he's playing better football now without Tyreek Hill than he had with Tyreek Hill. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I felt like he was almost too reliant on Tyreek Hill. If y'all understand what I'm saying. Like Tyreek Hill, he almost kind of like force feed Tyreek Hill in certain situations, especially in that Bucks matchup. I felt like he was trying to get the ball to Tyreek Hill. But in this Super Bowl, if you notice, Rice is their guy. But Patrick Mahomes was picking them boys apart, left and right, like, I'll throw to him, He can't catch. And I like that about Patrick.
I'm going to use what you just used, analogy, battle rap analogy. you know when people go against Lux, they say they gotta push their pen a little harder.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes has to press his quarterback skills a little harder now that Tyreek is going. I don't think he's a better quarterback, but I think he has to be better. I don't think he's a better stat-wise quarterback, but I think he has to be a better quarterback now that Tyreek is not here. Because it's not easy. First of all, because you left out Kelsey, even though I know you didn't mean to leave him out. Like when he had Kelsey and Tyreek, like
obviously Kelsey,
right? You could do anything you want. Like it was like if they had a line against the Bucks that year, they would have killed the Bucks too. Honestly, I think like they just had no line. Like they was all hurt. But like that was Tyreek can't be stopped, and clearly when Kelsey is ready to go, he cannot be stopped. So now you take away one. Now it's just worried about Kelsey. Like you said, he had to open up his range of being a quarterback of seeing the whole field and not just keying in on just Tyreek or Kelsey or that's it. Because one of them getting open 85% of the time with both of them on their team.
I feel like he's more cerebral. That's what I guess I can say. You know, Brady had Mahomes but never won a Super Bowl with him. But when Brady,
that was their best time.
Brady just picks you apart. I feel like Mahomes is starting to get into that bag now. You know, Jordan came out, he was crazy athletic. But then Jordan, I mean, obviously he could score any way he wanted to score. But when Jordan got into that different bag, okay, let me post you up and do this. It was like, okay, now you get into a different. I feel like Mahomes is transcending into that, and it's gonna be scary next year, man.
Yeah,
I got a question for y'all. Oh, go ahead, Kia, my bad.
No, I was saying, I think Mahomes is getting to that stature where and it's kind of like what Aaron Rodgers with Aaron Rodgers, and it's basically I don't care what receivers you put in front of me, I'm gonna make them look good, and you know, and obviously it was kind of rough in the beginning of the season. We didn't know what we were gonna expect from Rasheed Rice, but look where they're at. They just won the Super Bowl. So
my question for y'all is because I personally don't think he's gonna catch Brady with 7 bowls. Personally, I don't believe so. How many rings will it take for you to say he's the GOAT over Tom Brady?
It depends on how it's done. So, you know, I think that we don't ever look at it and say, how is it done? Because what if he goes, let's just say hypothetically, let me just throw a number out there. Let's say, because he lost to Brady young. I mean, he was young. He's a young quarterback. Brady was at his, I don't want to say his peak, but right around there, Brady was just in a different bag. But let's say, I'm just throwing a scenario. They win the next 3 Super Bowls.
After this? After taking 3 more, you say?
Yeah, like, come on. You don't have 7.
You got to give it to him.
You don't have 7, but if he wins like 4 or 5 in a row, you're kind of sitting there like, oh, no, this is the GOAT right here. We've never seen that. We've never seen nobody win 4 or 5 in a row. He does that, he elevates into a different class. Yeah, Brady, you got 7, but that took you 20 years to get that. This dude got 6 in literally like a 7-8 year window. So it just depends.
I don't think he can catch up to Brady though, but I do think this is his best Super Bowl win out of the 3 he has.
Absolutely.
Because you look at this team was a wild card team. You look at the gauntlet they had to go through. You had to go through Miami. You had to go the back-to-back road games. It was Mahomes' first road game throughout his career in the postseason, going against Buffalo and Baltimore. Then you're going against the best team in the NFC. That's impressive, and how they won it tonight, it was impressive. So I think this was their best Super Bowl win out of the 3.
So I have 2 scenarios where I would put him to go over Tom Brady. My first scenario is if he was in next year, a 3-peat in football is unheard of. And then I make 4 total in the 3-peat. In that 4 total, I got to give him the GOAT. 3-peat in the NFL is literally something that, do we know? I don't even know. Has that been done? I don't know. I feel like it had to be, but I don't remember in my lifetime a 3-peat ever being done in NFL.
No, because you had the Cowboys win 2, then the 49ers and the Cowboys won again. So
Yeah, he's my GOAT. He's my GOAT. He gets next year win 3P plus 4 total. Like that's unheard. Like really think about what we're saying here. 3P in NFL is crazy as hell. And then
I don't know. It just depends on like what he's gonna do the rest of his career. Is he gonna just be losing after that?
I mean, he'll still have. Let's say he have a career like Brady. Like as far as he's still competitive. He's always in the playoffs pretty much every year, but he don't win it no more. But he got a 3P and won that other chip, so still 4 total. I'm happy. I'm good. But
hey, I don't know if I put him as the GOAT.
I think he has a chance to be called the GOAT, even if he doesn't have 7 Super Bowl rings. Because you look at somebody like Dan Marino, people still have him as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL of all time. So, I
mean,
think he.
my bad. Was you done, Keo? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my second scenario was my minimum number if he doesn't 3P is 5. If he has 5 Super Bowl rings and he's still putting up these numbers that he's putting up statistically, because statistically his statistical numbers is better than Brady by average. Brady didn't come in the passing league. Brady was in halfway through his career to the league when they turned more passing. But Brady got carried by his defense in 2 of his Super Bowls.
And the
2 of them was
crazy
carried
thing
by his defense.
And the crazy thing is, this is actually Mahomes' worst season of his career. If you look at statistically,
yeah. But his best Super Bowl of his career, like he just flipped it.
But we ain't gonna be on here for long, man. We still gotta talk more about the Super Bowl on Wednesday on the NBA show. So we just wanted to jump here really quick and recap it really quick. But with that being said, man, let's wrap things up on here and go to our shout outs.
Well, I'll shout out Reek, man. Reek, you did it again. Even though I predicted the Chiefs to win as well, you picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. You got it right. And you actually said Mahomes will win MVP after you said Pacheco. So he caught it.
Well, you weren't right with everything because you said Birdie would get benched.
It's only entertainment, bro. It's only entertainment. Sometimes.
No, but you
entertaining sometimes.
But you called it though. But we do need your prediction really soon because I heard some guy named Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia is about to go down in a couple months.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Hey man, that's gonna be good. But shout out to Keo, man. Good sport for coming on here, even in a loss with the team that you picked. Always a pleasure. I'm gonna say shout out to the 49ers first for putting on an incredible Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Brock Purdy, man, you earned my respect today. I think you're an elite quarterback? No, but I do think that you're a very good quarterback, and you showed me that, maybe you're ready to step into that next role next year. So we'll wait and see. And then last but not least, the Chiefs, man. Patrick Mahomes, man. He's different, bro. It's just different. He talks different. Keo.
Oh, God. Oh,
he
my
plays
God.
different. And shout out to your sister, man. Nancy, what up? Chiefs Nation. Taylor Swift, the Swifties. Now we got bad blood.
Oh my God. All right, man. Shout out to Reek, shout out to X for this recap, man. Shout out to Chiefs winning back-to-back Super Bowls, man. Hasn't been done in a while. And the Niners, they had a great year. Obviously, they weren't able to get it done. And shout out to everybody that tunes in, supports the show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. We got the NBA show coming up. We're gonna try to talk some battle rap, but as far as I know, that shit's dead right now. I'm sorry.
Wow.
So wait, you saying battle rap ain't dead right now?
Battle rap's not dead, man. Don't do that, Reek.
6 feet deep. 6 feet deep.
You know who we need to bring it back? We need some guy named Tsunami Surf to come back. That's who.
Listen.
Hey, man.
Listen.
Young titles, what up?
Listen, before we go, I have to do my shout out. So shout out to Keo, shout out to X, shout out to MVS. You know what I mean? I just want to say two things real quick. We did all the positional picks of who had the advantage. Most of them shits was a wash, honestly, today. Outside of if you could say
Patrick
Mahomes was better
Mahomes.
yeah, you could say Patrick Mahomes, but it wasn't a big thing. The only one that was dominant, I think, was the tight end.
Yeah.
Maybe McCaffrey, but I thought Pacheco ran hard. But you know, McCaffrey was good because Pacheco had receiving yards and rushing yards. So I think most of offensive line, defensive line, linebackers was close. Secondary was close. It was a wash, a lot of washes. And my second thing I wanted to say was, I remember a year and a half ago or so, Battle Rap, Surf was locked up. I said, yo, Battle Rap's gonna be dead while he's going. And everybody was killing me. And I said, I'm telling you, what he brings to battle rap is beyond what he does in the battle. He don't even battle that much for it to matter how much he battle. It's what he brings to the atmosphere of battle rap. And we here, man. We got a guy named Easy leading the troops. That as soon as he get caught in the scandal, he runs and tucks his tail. Like, you know, whatever. That's a whole nother
Wow.
Hey, really quick before we get out of here. I know they're gonna announce champion of the year this week. I think it might be tomorrow or Tuesday. But really quick, who you guys got for champion of the year before we get off here?
X go first.
Big K going with it.
I think Twerk should win it, but I think Big K is gonna win it. I thought Twerk had a better year personally.
Yeah, I think Twerk is gonna win it. The person I want to win it, I want Tay Rock to win it, but I think Twerk is gonna win it though.
I think Twerk had the best year personally. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not. You know, Twerk, my dog. What up, man? I'm drafted.
Hey, we in a battle rap. Well, let me know the next battle rap show. I'm coming on.
All right, guys, man. Well, this is NBS Uncensored, the Super Bowl 53.